Welcome everyone. This is your own channel Learner Saga. In this video we will discuss the poem The Lake Isle of Innisfree by William Butler Yeats. Before starting, I like to request you to press the like button and subscribe the channel if you are new, and also to comment and share the video. So without wasting any time, let's begin. The Lake Isle of Innisfree. As the very title suggests, that it's about an island. Isle, the word isle or isle, someone may pronounce it like isle, although the right pronunciation is isle. The Lake Isle. Isle means the island of Innisfree. Innisfree is a place. It's situated in the island of Ireland. And as we know, William Butler Yeats, he belonged to Ireland. He was an Irish poet. So the Lake Island of Innisfree. When William Butler Yeats was a child, he used to spend a lot of time there. That's why in his memory he had a longing to go there. The place was a very tranquil place. It was serene, calm, and not frequented by many people. That's why the poet wanted to go there in search of peace and tranquility. This well-known poem explores the poet's longing for the peace. So here we can see the poem explores the poet's longing. Longing means his desire for peace. For the peace means he was in search of peace. And tranquility. Tranquility means serenity, calmness of Innisfree. This was the name of the place. A place where he spent a lot of time as a boy. So when he was a boy, he spent a lot of time there in the island of Innisfree. It is situated in Ireland. This poem is a lyric. What is a lyric? Lyric is actually a poem in the form of a song. It is intended to be sung. So the poem is in the form of a song. The Lake Isle of Innisfree. I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. So as we can see here, the poem comprises of 3 quatrains. 3 quatrains. Quatrains means a stanza containing 4 lines. Here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. This made up the first stanza. So as it has 4 lines, so it's a quatrain. And similarly, here are also the 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another quatrain, and last one another quatrain. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 quatrains. That means 12 lines are there in this poem. This is a small lyrical poem. Lyrical poem means a poem intended to be sung. So 12 lines poem, very small poem. And the first stanza, the first quatrain rather, it says the poet's longing. The poet says, I will arise and go now. So the poet feels a sort of emergency. He will arise, he will wake up and go now, and go to Innisfree, the very island where he wanted to go. And a small cabin built there. So he wanted to go in the island of Innisfree and wanted to build a small cabin. Cabin means a small room there, of clay and wattles made. and he will made his cabin of clay and wattles. Clay means you know, and wattles are the small twisted sticks for making fences. You can find the meaning here. Wattles, twisted sticks for making fences or walls. So I will arise and go now. The poet will arise and go now, go there, and go to Innisfree. And a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. There he will build a small cabin for himself out of clay and wattles. Wattles means sticks, twisted sticks for making walls or fences. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee loud glade. So the poet also has some plan. He said that he will have 9 bean rows there. Why bean rows? It has two purposes. First of all, it will serve as food item, and also as the poet was a nature lover, so he also planned to plant bean rows there. And how many rows will be there? 9 rows. 9 rows of bean. A hive for the honeybee. There will be a hive. That means the poet will also enjoy, he will also taste the honey from the hive. And live alone. The poet desired to live alone there, lonely. He will have a secluded life there in the bee loud glade. And as it will be glade means a clearing or an open space. You can see here glade means it's a clearing or open space. So where he will made his dream house, dream cabin in the island of Innisfree, there will be bean rows, 9 bean rows, and a hive where there will be honeybees. And the poet will live there alone in the bee loud glade. The poet will live there alone in that open clearing, in that open space, with full of humming sounds by the bees. So the first stanza says the poet's longing to go to the island of Innisfree. There he will build a small cabin for himself. He wanted to live a secluded life there, and he will have 9 bean rows and a hive. He will enjoy his secluded life there in the open space or clearing that will be full of humming sounds of the bees. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. Their midnights all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evenings full of the linnet's wings. So the natural descriptions are there, how the poet will enjoy his all day there. The poet gives a description. In this stanza, as we can see, the poet says, and I shall have some peace there. The poet desires that he will have some peace there. He was in search of peace. That's why he wanted to go to the island of Innisfree, and he apprehends, he desires, he foresees that he could have that peace there. For peace comes dropping slow, as he knows very well that peace doesn't come occasionally. It doesn't come at random, rather it comes occasionally. So according to him, peace comes dropping slow, like the oozings, like the droppings. Peace also comes slowly and gradually. It doesn't come at random and very quickly. Dropping from the veils of the morning to where the cricket sings. See here, this line is very beautiful. It has so many rhetorical devices also, literary devices. It says, dropping from the veils of the morning. So here the poet compares the morning to a woman. As a woman hides her face with veil, similarly here the morning is compared, or morning is imagined as a woman hiding her face with veils. And here the veils are compared to the clouds, or we may say the clouds are compared to the veils. So in a way we can say the poet has here mingled the idea. He is comparing the clouds with the veils, and he is comparing the morning with a woman. As a woman hides her face with the help of veil, similarly morning is covered with the veil like clouds. Where the cricket sings, and that beautiful scene will also be enriched by the sound of the cricket. Cricket means the hedge cricket, a kind of insect. So the poet will find some peace there, and as he knows that peace comes very slowly, it will drop from the veils of the morning. That means he will enjoy the morning with clouds. In the morning there will be cloud, and the poet will enjoy that sight, and he will have peace while witnessing that sight. In addition to that, he will also enjoy the cricket sound, the hedge cricket sound. Their midnights all a glimmer. Not only the morning will give him peace, but the midnights will also be very beautiful. The midnight will be glimmering, glittering. How? Because of the twinkling stars. The stars will be twinkling, and that will provide the poet immense happiness, immense peace. And noon a purple glow. During the noon, the sun rays will give the purplish glow, and thereby the poet will be happy, and he will have his peace. He was in search of peace, and he will have that. That means during morning, during night, midnight, and during noon, he will have his peace. And again in evening also. And evenings full of the linnet's wings. During the evening, when all the birds will return to their house, return to their home, their nest, then the poet will also have his peace while seeing those beautiful scenes. And evenings full of the linnet's wings. Linnet is a small bird, is a kind of bird, and wings means they will be flying in the sky. They will be returning to their nest, and seeing this beautiful scenery, the poet will find his peace. He will be happy in his mind. So the second stanza, it gives a description how the poet will enjoy his all day there. He will have his peace. He was in search of peace, and he will have that peace during all the day and night. I will arise and go now, for always night and day. I hear the lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore, while I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey. I hear it in the deep heart's core. I will arise and go now. So the poet repeats this line. You can see in the very first stanza, in the very first line, the poet says, I will arise and go now. And in the third stanza's first line also, it says, I will arise and go now. That means it's a kind of urgency that the poet is feeling. For always night and day. Night and day means throughout the day. All through the day, the poet feels that urgency that he should go to the island of Innisfree. I hear the lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. And the poet could hear the lake water, that means the lake island of Innisfree, where the lake is there, and their water will be lapping. Lapping means it will overlap and thereby made a hitting sound. A sound. Lapping means you may say hitting. The water will be hitting or striking with low sounds by the shore. When the lake's water will hit the shore, it will make a low sound, and the poet will enjoy that sound also. He will find his peace hearing that low sounds. While I stand on the roadway, how could he hear that sound? Because he would stand on the roadway there, or on the pavements grey, or he would be there on the grey pavements. Pavements means a short road or a footpath, you may say, and the color of the pavements are grey. So he will be standing on the roadways or on the grey pavements, and standing there he would listen to the lapping sound or the hitting sound of the water, of the lake water by the shore, by the edge. I hear it in the deep heart score. And the poet will be hearing this. He will be listening to this not only through his ear holes, but also in his heart, in his deep core, from the inside of his heart. So the third quatrain, the last stanza, it says that the poet will go to the island of Innisfree, and he will enjoy his whole day there. He will hear the lake water creating a sound while it strikes the shore, and on standing on the roadways or maybe on the grey pavements, he will hear that sound from the very inside of his heart. He will enjoy that sound and thereby have his peace. So the poem is a very fantastic one. It's a lyrical poem, as you can see, and the poem is full of literary devices. You can have alliteration, repetition, personification and metaphor here. First of all, you can say that there is alliteration here, as you can see. In the third line of the first quatrain, hive for the honey bee. So here H, the word H has been repeated. So it's an example of alliteration. In the second stanza, in the second quatrain, we can say that here morning has been compared to a woman. So it's an example of metaphor, or you can say the morning has been personified here. So we can say that this is also an example of personification. And as the veils are compared, or clouds are compared rather with veils, so this is an example of metaphor. In the last line of the second quatrain, evenings full of linnets wings. Wings stands for the birds flying. So it's symbol for the thing symbolized. You can say the example of synecdoche or metonymy, you may say. Synecdoche is symbol for the thing symbolized. And the poem's rhyme scheme is AB, AB. You can see here, as the word Innisfree is it doesn't go with the next line's word made. If we take this as A, it will be B, and Innisfree matches with honey bee, so A, B, A, and made matches with glade, so A, B, A, B. The rhyme scheme is A, B, A, B. Okay students, that's it. But if you have any problem or any doubt, you may please comment. I will try to help you as soon as possible. Okay, so we will meet in the next video with some another topic. Till then, goodbye.